And hello everybody, I'm Ulrich with UFixItAuto, and today I'm giving you a shop update on the cars. As you can see, I started assembling the fenders. I actually left out the fender wells on here. I'm trying to get everything torqued on, like all the sway bar bushings, lower control arm bushings, just all the bushings in general, strut rod, and I need to do that with as much weight as I can get on here. The fender wells, I have to, for the passenger side, since I'm putting an AC unit, I actually have to get a smaller one than the one that came factory with it. The other one is actually getting completely media blasted because there was just so much built up mud from over the years in the wheel well, and it was hard to take off. I was going over it with a scraper, and I'm just getting it completely media blasted. And as soon as I get this fender well, it's going to do the same thing. I'm going to get the entire engine bay spray painted a semi-gloss black. There's a few things that's going to be missing, like over here is actually completely rotted out. There's nothing attaching it on here. I'll have to figure out how to get a patch in order to get this fixed. Another thing that I've been doing on both cars actually is I've been wire wheeling and just taking off all the rust. I've been going over it with POR 15 rust preventative in order to convert the remaining rust. I went through and cleaned it as much as I could, and then the rest of it I ended up putting a rust preventative, and then I'm going over it with the POR 15 rubberized undercoating. When I get this fully assembled, I'll get the bumpers on, I'll get the corner lights on, and then I'm going to be dropping all of this, torquing everything, and then my goal is to get it to roll out, get this seat out, because I should have done that. I wasn't thinking. When I put this in and it became immobile, I should have taken out the seat so that way I can get everything reupholstered. I've got the brand new black leather upholstery. The only thing is, when I ordered this, for those that are making a supernatural tribute car, eBay sells a Madrid seat, and these are actually different than the ones that the show uses. I know of a builder out in Texas that actually makes the screen accurate seats, and he can sell it to you for whatever price. It's right around $1,000, maybe even a little bit more. But I already purchased this for $600 back in June, and it's way too late for me to replace. So I'll be putting these on, and I'm thinking about ordering the screen accurate leather seats from him, and we'll see about doing that. But for those that have followed up to this far, I have tubular control arms on the upper and lower. I have brand new coilovers for a handling upgrade. This engine, the only thing that was wrong with it from what I could see is that the camshaft sprocket that they used was for a bigger engine, and it ended up actually grinding up on the timing belt cover. And what that did was it just basically ruined the timing belt cover, so I ordered a new one from Edelbrock, and I got a new timing chain kit. But since this is an interference engine, what I want to do is, since the timing chain snapped, I want to check the valves, make sure the piston heads are all good. So I'll be pulling the engine, stripping it all apart, basically like what I did to the Mustang motor. The Mustang is an original 6-cylinder engine, and I decided to do a 302 upgrade. I actually pulled this one off of a 71 Bronco, and I completely stripped it apart. As you can see, the crankshafts over there, the camshaft, the piston heads. So what I'm going to do is, I do not have any specialty tools in order to measure the bores or anything. I do not have this at this current. I would love to have those tools, but I currently don't have it. So I'll be taking it to a machine shop in order to go get washed, to go get balanced, and make sure everything's good to go. So that way I could put in the cylinder heads, the intake manifold, and then that way I could get this attached to the new T5 transmission that I got, and I'll be putting it all into the Mustang. I'm trying to get the Ford 8.8 going. For those of you that are doing a Ford 8.8 swap, I can tell you, if you order new leaf springs for the car, they come with U-bolts that are smaller. This is the original rear end. That was for a 6-cylinder, and these are the new U-bolts that even came with the leaf springs, and they're not even wide enough to clear this. So unfortunately, those were no use. So then I ordered this plate kit from, is it Curry or something like that? And it came with these wide ones, which are more than wide enough for these, but unfortunately, they won't fit here. And they said that this is for a Ford 9-inch. It spreads out way too far. It's not wide enough for the new plates that I got for it. The way that it works is that they go over this plate over here. This is actually where the shock mounts. And so I ordered this kit, but the U-bolts didn't end up working, so I went to a junkyard, actually got some U-bolts for this, and with this plate, it was still not wide enough, so I actually opened it up on all ends about a 1/4 inch on each side, and now these plates are good to use in order for us to mount the U-bolts on. The Camaro, the subframe is still getting powder coated, so that should be here on the 25th. And then I can start assembling it, putting the new tubular upper and lower control arms, coilovers, and then I can start assembling the fenders. It's not gonna look pretty, but it's gonna look more like a Camaro, so I'm excited for that. I was lucky and unlucky in certain aspects. There is no floorboard rust. All of the floorboards are in great condition. There was just maybe a little bit of rust, but I took it out with a wire brush and a wire wheel, and there's no holes that go all the way through, which is really nice. There was rust. I started assembling the new body mount bushings onto here, and there is rust just over here, right next to the position number 5 body mount bushing right over here, and then there's just this huge rust hole over here. And then on top of it, on the other side, the bolt completely snapped off. It was so rusted, it snapped off there. So the only way to replace that and whatever's retaining the body mount bolt on here is to cut it out and weld it. So I'm going to have to figure out where to get those patches and then cut it out from the trunk, and in order to weld the new pieces on there. So that's going to be awful. But besides that is going to be the rust that's right over here along the wheel well, which is actually pretty standard, like just micro bubbling just all throughout over here. Over here in the front fender, there is rust right over here, and then it completely actually rusted over here, so it's broken. So there's nothing that's actually securing this part down. This actually is pretty free, so I have to figure out a patch for that. And then it's going to be the same thing for the other side. The only other rust is the wheel well over here, and then right where the where I showed you the body mount bolt was on the other side, it's the same thing over here. And then just right above on top where the trunk is, the same spot, it's just rusted all the way through. So I'll have to get that done. I did order a package tray that included the Sam Winchester, Dean Winchester, so the SW, DW on here. So that should be here pretty soon. He said he was going to ship it out in 7 to 10 days, and that was roughly about a week ago. So hopefully it's going to be here pretty soon. But that's going to be super cool to have. And I'm also going to put a normal package tray just right underneath it, and then I'll be cutting out the speaker holes. I'll be doing 2 6.5-inch speakers. The interior, I'm working on removing the panels over there. I'm actually going to make a video on me preparing the interior for the light buckskin color, and then I'll be cutting out the holes for the AC vents, and then I'll be assembling everything together. So that's going to be a cool video. I might make videos on how to install the corner lights, since there's not any good videos on that, and some people really want to see that being done. Or I'll be cutting the hole out for the AC unit. I did hear that those that were equipped with an AC unit, the firewall was actually a little bit thicker. From somebody that I know that parts out Impalas, I actually paid for him in order to take out the entire firewall, and he'll be sending it to me, so I'll be making sure the thickness and seeing if that's even remotely true, or if the guy charged me more for nothing. But I'll let you guys know for sure, so that way if you're doing this, then you can plan for the same things. So that's what I've been up to. I've just been taking care of a lot of stuff that are just minor details, just off camera. But that's pretty much it, guys. I've just been taking care of those minor stuff, just rust preventative, just taking out the wire wheel, getting all that stuff done. Pretty good, and I'll give you updates on how this rust preventative with the rubberized coating just holds up over time. But that's it, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more, please be sure to hit the subscribe button. And if you liked the video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching.